Good morning and welcome to the podcast Madhu Decodes. This is a channel where we are bridging the gap between businesses and AI entrepreneurs. Today we have a very special guest, a very young entrepreneur, Mirza Aman, in our show. Welcome, Mirza. Today I'm really happy to host you in this show.
Thank you so much, Madhu, for such a warm introduction. And it's a pleasure to be on your podcast and discuss about how we can help business owners with AI and automations.
Thank you, Mirza. So I know you've been venturing into a lot of AI projects. You started as early as 19 and you moved into or you pivoted into doing AI solutions, especially voice agents for businesses. Can you hit a little bit about
Yes.
what are voice agents and what should business owners know about voice agents?
So if I had to put this thing in like a super simple way, you can think of it like a 24 by 7 receptionist that is powered by AI. You have a receptionist in your office, in your clinic, who is taking care of all the roles. But again, it can take sick leaves. It won't be available 24 into 7. It might get distracted. It might get fatigued. But this is an let's say receptionist that is powered by AI. It works 24 into 7. It doesn't take a break. It can execute the same action that your actual human receptionist is doing without the actual cost.
Okay. So are you saying now when I call somebody, if there is a voice agent picking up a call, I don't have to listen to this, the IVR that says press 9, press 8, press 4. You know what happened? Once I pressed 9
100%.
because it said, oh, press 9 to listen to these options again. And then the options became even slower. So I had to wait longer. So are you saying I don't have to have this trouble at all?
100%. And this is the problem that I faced recently. I mean, so my bank had to send me the welcome kit and it got delayed. Then they shared with me a number. I called that number and then they're like, "Oh, press 1 to do this, press 2 to do this, press 3 to reach out this." The list just goes on and on. And when you press, there's nobody to answer in the back end. I mean, that process is so
Yeah.
frustrating. You have to repeat whole time. That is what AI agent totally changes. It can understand what the user is
Okay.
saying. Okay, it can understand, it can process that information, it can take action based on that. If let's say I'm talking to an AI receptionist and I'm saying that, hey, I want to talk to the business
Okay.
owner, can you do that? It would actually connect with me. It would connect me to the
Ah.
business owner. If I ask it to, can you, let's say, uh, connect me with to this department, it would be able to do that. Unlike, pressing 1, pressing 2, pressing 3, that's a very old process. This one is so advanced, it can actually execute actions as
Okay.
well.
So just to summarize for the business owners who are listening to this, voice agents are nothing but somebody who's answering the phone. The agent would answer the phone. Either books an appointment or takes information or gives information to the customer without the owner having to sit or keep answering phone calls. So basically the business owner is freed up to do other
Exactly.
parts of the business where somebody else is actually taking care of
Exactly.
booking appointments, etc. Right? And it sounds human, you're
Yes, you
saying.
have an AI
Yeah, okay.
receptionist. Yes, it sounds superhuman. It's natural. It can answer all your leads. It can forward the leads. It can do human transfer. It can capture the information, qualify the leads while you're working on your actual task. So you don't have to be sticking to your phone 24 into
That's
7. Your phone is being taken care of. You can actually work on the business.
Thank you, Mirza. Now let's get into a bit of what you did before this and how you pivoted into voice agents. So I am going to tell this. The Voice Flow is your company, right? You are the founder of the Voice Flow.
Right.
So you are doing more than 15
Correct.
to 20 projects in voice agents so far, right?
So far, we have done like more than 15 projects. There are a couple of other projects as well. 15 to 20, I would say we have done on voice AI. Apart from that, we have done like custom solutions as
Thank
well.
you. So tell me a little bit of yourself. Where did you start? When did you start into getting into business? You're so young and venturing into a business and soon pivoting into AI, especially voice agents. What made you do that? Give us a little bit of your storyline.
Yeah, so if I take you to like more backstory, I started my first business when I was 19. That was my funnels and marketing agency because that was the biggest challenge at that point of time. Businesses were facing problem generating the leads. So we used ads, we used funnels and marketing systems to generate them leads. I ran that business for like 2 years. We work with coaches, consultants, local business service providers, and help them generate leads. And recently, I started to notice this pattern that, even if we generate the leads, the client were not able to close the sale. They were not able to follow up with the leads. So that was the biggest problem they were facing after generating the leads. Let's say we run the ads and they get 10 leads today, but the client is busy in some other work. They're not able to call back to these leads. They're not able to follow up with these leads. They don't have a system. They are using Google Sheets to handle to store these leads. So even after spending money on ads, even after spending so much and generating leads, they're not able to close the sale because they do not have, first of all, a system to nurture these leads. Second, it's based on
Mhm.
stat. If you call a lead more, if you delay it by like more than 5 minutes, the chances of closing them drops drastically. And the business owners that I was working with, they would take like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to call back with these
Ah,
leads. And that is where, it was a huge gap which I decided to address. And at the same point of time, we saw this new startups coming in like Synthflow, Vapi, Retail, all this kind of voice agent startup which addressed this problem. So using these tools, we started building voice AI agent for business owners. In fact, my first client was my existing ad agency client for whom we built this agent to address the lead problem.
okay.
That is how I ventured into this. It's been like 8 months now, and we have worked on more than 15, 20 voice AI projects so
That's
far.
amazing. That's amazing. That's a massive growth within a few months, really. Um, so has it been welcoming change for business owners? How did business owners feel about it when you first showed them this project, or how this can help businesses?
Yeah, so when I first showed it to my client, I did not, talk about the tech or how what I'm gonna do,
Okay.
how does it look like in the back end. All I did was like I got him on a Zoom call and I asked him to fill up this form. And as soon as he filled up his form, he got a call within 60 seconds. And that call was like from an AI, which qualified him. And he was like super impressed.
Okay.
Usually, if somebody fills up a form, it would take him at least an hour to get back to that lead.
Okay.
But now, when you're using voice AI agent, if somebody fills up your inquiry form, they get a call within 60 seconds. It qualifies them, it acknowledges them, and it books an appointment. And that's exactly what business owners are looking for. So it was like for him, it was an amazing
That's very
experience.
nice. So you're saying a customer would typically go into a website, fill up an enquiry form, but in this case, you asked the customer to fill up an enquiry form, but the customer got a call immediately from the company. The customer got this call through a voice agent. So the voice agent can call numbers as well, right? Doesn't only answer phones, the voice agent can
Yes.
also call people.
Yes, so voice agents are like inbound agent, and then we also have outbound agents. So inbound agents, they handle incoming calls. Let's say you have a Google My Business profile, you have your number listed there, you get a lot of inquiries, but you don't have time to answer all of them. So that's where we can use AI as inbound AI receptionist, which will handle all the incoming leads. But if you're running ads, let's say either you're using a Facebook lead form or using a landing page, you're getting the leads. That is where we can have an outbound AI agent that is connected to your CRM. As soon as a new lead comes in, it would call that lead within 60 seconds. It would qualify them. And then if you want to capture information, it would do that. If you wanted to book an appointment, it would book an
Ah,
appointment.
okay. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, what sort of businesses did you really pitch this solution in the first place?
So initially, I pitched it to my clients that were already in my ad agency. They were like coaches and consultants. And then I've also worked with solar companies. I've worked with roofing companies for MedSpa, for aesthetic
Okay.
clinics. We even deployed it for a real estate client. So right now we're deploying it for a bunch of different niches. Since all of these industries have the same problem. If you address any of them, they have the same problem. They get the leads, but they're not able to address these leads ASAP, and then they're not able to follow up with these leads. And third, they don't have a system to handle the complete flow. There's no system to handle all this. So we address all these three
Thank you,
problems.
thank you. So the way you've described to me feels like if you categorize the benefits of AI agents into three separate categories, say lead generation or business optimization or taking care of customer support or something like that, where do you think most benefits fall with respect to implementing voice agents?
So the two biggest use cases that I'm seeing, and I'm speaking from a practical point of view because this is something we are deploying it, and this is where we are seeing the highest ROI. The first use case would be answering your inbound calls because a lot of time I've seen this happening, especially for MedSpa clinics and aesthetic businesses where they get a lot of inbound calls. And also the front desk staff, at the same time, they have to address the customers or the clients they are, in the office or in the clinic. So they're handling both things. They're handling the clients that are coming in the clinic. At the same time, they also have to handle the
Okay.
calls, right? And they're not able to do a good job on both of them. So the best use of case of human is like they should be actually dealing with the clients. They should be talking face to face if somebody
Okay.
comes in, and they can outsource this whole job of calls to AI. AI would be able to handle, and the best part is AI can handle concurrent calls. So even if you get like 10 calls at the same time, AI would be able to handle it.
Ah, that's interesting to know. So how is that possible? So does the AI route the calls to some other number? How does it take like 10 calls at the same time?
So these are like more of solution that come in with softwares like Retail,
Okay.
Vapi. They have this solution built in. Uh, it's more of like custom put it in the backend. It can handle calls, and if we are talking like a big business owner who are having more than 10
Yeah.
calls, even that is possible, like handling 20 calls at the same time, handling 30 calls at the same time.
Wow. So I don't have to listen to this music where you have to wait to listening to a music for a long queue, right? Is okay, so those queues will go away.
100%.
Wow. That is amazing because half the time when I call my bank, this is what happens. I've been placed on queue.
Yeah, especially with the banks, I've seen this happening with me myself recently. So what happened was like I opened a new bank account, and the bank had to send me the
Yeah.
welcome kit, and they did the transfer, but I did not receive it, so I had to call the bank, and so they have the same kind of system, IVR system. Press
Yeah,
one
I
to talk
told
to this
yeah.
person, press two to talk to this. The list goes
Yeah.
to nine, and if you miss something, you have to repeat the whole list. Even if you press it, it won't, sometimes it doesn't load directly or to the correct person. That's a very, I would say, like frustrating for a customer.
Of course, of course. I think customers also going to feel happy now, not just the business owners. I think customers are also going to be very happy with this implementation of voice AI solutions. Now
Yeah.
let's target the questions in business owners' minds. Okay, so what are the top three, fear factors or impediments to adopting this solution in a business owner's mind? Do you think?
Oh, that's an interesting question because I get on a lot of sales calls, discovery calls, scoping calls, and this is something we face all the time. So the biggest one is the quality of voice. That's the biggest concern. No, the business owners don't want the voice to look like an AI voice. They want it to sound supernatural, just like a human would answer the
Okay.
call. That's the number one concern. And we address it because the quality of voice that we're using right now with 11 labs, with other SaaS products that are coming in, the quality has improved so much. Like it really, it's hard to differentiate between a human and the AI voice. It's so good. It's getting so
Okay.
better. And just imagine how it would look like in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year. It would be hard to differentiate whether it's an AI or
Ah,
human.
okay.
So the first concern is solved. We are using very good voice
Yep.
qualities. The second one is they have this fear that how would my customers react, or if the AI, mess
Uh
up
huh.
something, if the AI respond in a wrong way, because there's chances of that happening. Okay, let's say customer books a certain service and AI books in for some other service, right? There's a possibility of that
Okay.
happening, and that's the biggest concern. The way we address is that we don't deploy a voice AI agent 100% into a business. We do it phase by
Okay.
phase. So first of all, let's say if a business is getting after our calls, we'll first deploy it for that particular
Ah.
phase. And then we will test the agent. We will see the quality. We'll see how it's working. What kind of responses it is giving. We aim for at least 90 to 95% accuracy. So we measure that. If that is good, then we deploy it for other areas of the business. So we do it phase by phase, and even after deployment, we have like a 4 weeks of intensive testing where we sit, we analyze the calls, we see the responses, and then we improve based on it.
Oh, nice.
So it's not like a just set up and forget. We actually improve, we optimize so that it really becomes, an asset for your company, not just another tech
Uh-huh.
for your company.
Okay. So you're saying once you set it up, you probably set it up for the after hours first. So maybe then that That's the biggest use case that business owners won't know, right? That somebody can answer the phone after hours. So were they really happy
Right.
to have that as a service even after hours, you think?
Yes, 100%, because that is like additional money on the table, which they would leave if they don't answer the phones. Because the lead is calling with an intent to work with you, to let's say take your
Yeah.
service or book an appointment with you. They have the intent. But just because you don't have somebody to answer that lead, you're losing that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's nice. That's nice. So you addressed two fear factors, right? One was naturally sounding voice, which you said we have advanced solutions these days that you can't even differentiate. And what was your second? The second fear factor was
The
the
second one
wrong answers, right?
was deploying,
Okay.
and then what
Yeah.
happens? Yeah, what happens once we
Okay.
deploy? And third one is some business owners are concerned that it might not be, as good as it's being advertised or as being marketed. You see the demos are super good, but they have the fear how it's going to actually look like when you deploy it, right? And so I think it's pretty simple, and it's natural to have that kind of
Okay.
fear because it's a new technology. It's still in the development phase. We are getting there. It's getting better day by day. So, if you're a business owners who are deploying it and you have this first mover advantage, plus you also have some risk involved,
Yeah.
right? The way we address is we show them few of our live projects, so the live builds which we have done for other clients. So that is more like a social proof. Your business or your competitor, or let's say somebody in your industry itself has deployed. We have worked on this project, and you can see, you can test it out. That gives them a lot of
Thank
confidence.
you. Thank you. So, how many industries you've hit? How many niches you've already solved for? You mentioned consultants, coaches, right?
Yeah, so coaches,
MedSpa.
consultant, then
Okay.
realtors,
Realtors. Okay.
MedSpa,
Okay.
roofer,
Okay.
solar, attorney. See, these are the niches that we have worked
Okay.
with.
Okay. That's interesting to know.
And we're also getting some interesting niches like construction. So I had a couple of calls with construction business owners, and they are looking to build or deploy voice agent for their business, addressing the same cases.
That's very nice. Let's get into the details of the business numbers, right? I would like to talk to you more about one of your case studies. If you have any like success stories, what were the numbers looking like in whatever KPIs you are measuring as business success factors? And I would also like to talk to you about the costing the business would have to incur when they are deploying a voice agent. So, which one do you want to go with first? Shall we address your success factors?
Yeah, we can discuss a case study. So this was a recent one. Like I was working with a MedSpa that is based in Texas, and that's a new MedSpa, and they were advertising everywhere, and they're getting a bunch of leads, but they do not have like system to answer this leads. They do not even have like a way to text back this lead. So we set up the complete system. We used to go high level for building out complete system for handling the leads automations, and then we built the voice agent using VAPI and agent. So these are the tech stack that we used. So the number one problem was like they were missing out on the incoming leads. So they were getting leads from their
Okay.
Instagram, from their text messages. So these are like text-based leads. And then also they were getting inbound calls because they had their website listed on multiple platforms. So they're doing kind of advertising
Ah,
or putting up their website in different locations. So they were getting inbound calls as well. So just last month, we were able to book additional 20 appointments. 20 to 22 appointments we were able to book, including both the voice AI and also the text agent.
okay. Oh, nice. Very nice.
Okay. Now, for example, let's say these are 20 appointments, and if you do the maths, let's say one customer, right? One-time value is anywhere between like 400 to $500. That's one-time value. So if you do the math, that is massive for a business or for a med spa company because med spas have a like very good lifetime value. If a customer
Yeah.
comes in and if they're happy with the service, they keep coming again and again. So it's not that you're just missing like one-time revenue, you're missing like the whole LTV, lifetime value of the customer, if you lose that customer just because you did not have a receptionist to answer them.
Got it. Got it. Got it. What would you say the typical percentage uplift in lead was? So you mentioned 20, but what is the percentage uplift in leads?
These are the 20 to 25 leads that they have got from using voice AI agent, which they were obviously
Okay.
missed, right? Apart from that, the leads that since they are a new business owner, apart from that, they are doing some other marketing in the local business, advertising, other stuff. But these are the leads that I can say they have got directly from the system that we have
Implement.
deployed for them.
Are they
Yeah.
measuring how many leads they are originally generating versus how many was increased?
They're currently not tracking
Okay.
this thing, but I think they should start measuring it, like what's the offline business leads they're getting from other sources versus what they're getting from voice AI. So that would be definitely a
Valuable.
valuable metric to
Okay, yeah,
track.
that's nice. That's nice. Let's get into the cost model of voice AIs. So, for small businesses who want to implement voice agents to answer calls, to follow up their customers, etc., what kind of cost are they looking at?
So when you talk about cost, there are two kind of costs involved. One is like the setup cost, which was setting up the system for you, and the second cost would be the cost of calls, which would be like the AI
Okay.
minutes or the billing, you can say. Now, in terms of the setup cost, there are multiple solutions, there are multiple options. There are some SaaS companies which offer you voice AI solutions for as low as $99 per month, $49 per month. You can go for a custom solution, custom build, which would start anywhere as low, I mean, something between the range of 1,500 to $3,000 or even like $5,000. That's more of like a custom build which business owners get. If they want a customized solution, they want a customized workflow, they go for that. So these are the two options which you can start. Each come with their own pros and cons. The SaaS model is like it has a lot of restrictions. You cannot do custom workflows, custom solutions. You cannot customize it to your business. You know, you have to use it as it is. But it has a lower cost, $99 a month, $49 a month. And the voice quality would get affected in that case because you don't have much control over that. Versus if you're doing a custom solution, what you're getting a custom build, you have 100% control of what you want the agent to do, what kind of actions you want it to do, post-call functions, what happens after the call, integrating with your own CRM, the control over the voice, control over the buildings. You have so much control over it. That's the upside of using custom solution. But it also comes up with a setup cost, which would range something around 1,500 to $3,000 and upwards of it. So that is on the setup side. On the billing side, right? For the
Yeah.
minutes, it's usually like 0. Or you can say like 20 cents per minute. If you're using a good agent, 20 cents per
With
minute
less
is what it
customization,
costs.
of course, right? When it becomes longer lead times, additional customizations, the cost model would definitely increase.
It's usually
Okay.
around that. Doesn't increase much, but around 20
Okay.
cents.
Okay. Thank you.
And even it can get lower than that if we go into 100% custom solutions. We can even reduce the cost below 20 cents.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, for the customers like you who are AI entrepreneurs or you want to venture into AI entrepreneurship, I would like to get into some more technical details if you can share. What kind of tech stack did you choose and why? Why did you land on certain aspects of a tech stack?
Yeah, for the tech stack for building the custom solutions, we use Vapi and Retail for the voice side, and then we use Twilio. And for the CRM, we use Go High Level because like it's one of the best CRMs that you can have, and it's super flexible with any business. So, and it's very cost effective, just $99 a month. And they're currently running offers as well, so you might get it lower than $99 a month. They have a 30 days trial, so you can test it out for your business, see how it works before you invest any money into that. And for the voice, we use 11 Labs. It has got the best quality of voice. Now, Vapi and Retail, like these are the top, I would say, like the top companies who are building these agents or like who are providing the architecture or the infrastructure for building this voice agent. They are proven. They have a very big business customer base. So we know that it's super reliable, especially the retail. The retail infrastructure is super reliable. We prefer using retail for most of our clients. We're not seeing any kind of problems, bugs, or hiccups while deploying on retail. And that's what I would recommend for business owners who want like a reliable setup. They can go ahead with retail.
Retail. Okay.
And for the CRMs, go high level. So these are the two main things that you would need to build your agents. The third thing would be the automation layer, which we use N8N.
N8N. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So, how would your tech stack look
So
like?
these are the three main
Yeah.
things. These are the three main things that you would need. The automation layer, which is N8N. retail, which would be your voice agent, and then you have go high level as your CRM, which has like workflows, your pipelines and opportunities. So this, when you combine these things, you have like a proper system. You have proper AI agent that's handling the leads, that's qualifying, that is updating the CRM, and you can see end of the day reports and everything at one place.
Okay, okay. So, how would a typical tech stack look like? Because you told me multiple components, right? Let's decode one by one, right? VAPI and retail. What are the specializations for this, or what are the use of these tools? So, they are what? Okay, if you want to define
So
VAPI
these
and
are
retail
the
for a
voice AI
business,
agent.
how would you define it?
So I would say like this is the powerhouse, like this is where you're gonna set up your agent, your system prompts, you prompt the agent like for it to how to perform, add context, add the knowledge base, and connect with your CRM. So this is like where the whole your agent
Okay.
plays. N10 is the automation layer. This is it works in the back end. So all the functions of the voice agent, like doing the outbound calls or doing a follow-up or updating the CRM, any kind of functions, it's been taken care by N10 in the back end. Go high level is like your CRM. So we want all these functions, present in a simple format or in a super simple, easy way where the business owner can interact, see how many leads it has got, see where the appointments has been booked, right? So go high level is more of the CRM
Okay.
side.
So basically, you integrate Go High Level with NA10 so that when they have like customer follow up calls, etc., it fetches the details from the CRM table or whatever, and
Right,
then it calls customers for follow up to do any tasks. And
right,
to do the conversation, you set up prompts in VAPI so that they can,
right.
they can choose the right voice, right information, etc. And customizations, you always build it through N8N or WAPI when you put the knowledge base at the back end. Where do you normally?
It depends both. Depends on the complexity of the agent. If it's for like a small business, they don't have a lot of services. We'll just do it within the retailer API. But if it's like super complex or if they have huge knowledge base, we'll do it through an
Okay, thank you. Have you had customers asking for specific accents and things like that? And is it possible in WAPI and retail?
Yes, yeah. So since we work with mostly overseas clients, we also get clients from Australia. They want to have that Aussie accent, right? So that's possible inside retail and WAPI. You can have those and feel, getting different kind of accents, all possible inside this. At the same time, you can even upload your voice. So that's an additional feature. Let's say if you're a business owner, let's say you're a one-person business owner, and you want the agent to sound just like you, which a lot of business owners want to
Yeah.
sometimes. So you can upload your voice, and that would be used as a voice for the voice AI agent.
Wow. Do you have any stories to tell when
Yeah.
something like that business owner put his own voice and something else, somebody mistook to talking to him, etc.? Do you have any nice, interesting stories?
It happens a lot of time because, as I said, the voice quality is so good that it's hard to differentiate, from whether it's an AI or it's a
Uh huh.
business owner. So when I was going through the recordings, so actually it's an AI, but the customers was talking like, "Hey, ma'am." So it was addressing it by ma'am because in their mind that they're talking to a real
Okay.
human all the
Okay. So
time.
you're going to please the business owners when you say their voice can be added because that's something people wouldn't have anticipated is existing, right? Yeah. So
Right.
follow up calls. If I have a CRM, I can do a follow up call in my own voice to a customer. That's what you think. That's what you say is
We
happening.
can
Oh,
do
okay.
that. Yes, yes, we can do
Okay.
that.
Okay. What happens if the customer has their own CRM instead of go high level?
So if they have their own CRM and if it has all the integration options, it's good to go. So we are not rigid that we are going to use the Go high level. If they're using any other CRM and it has the integrations, then we can use the same and continue building it there.
Okay.
That's not a
Thank
problem.
you.
So they don't have to shift the CRM, like they don't have to shift their internal ecosystem. If they're already using some tools, we can build it on top
That's
of
very
that.
nice. So, do you also take payments, for example, when a customer is talking or a voice agent is calling someone and there is a bill they have to pay? Do you actually enable that payment systems too?
The way we do that is while on the call, agent can send a text, let's say as an SMS with the payment link. When the customer pays from the backend, it can fetch that the payment has been made.
Okay. Okay, that's very nice.
All right. So it
So
works
it's like
that
a
way.
versatile
You
tool. It can be applied for any business owner for solving their issues. Okay,
correct. Correct.
that's very, very nice. So what are the, homework you've done? So basically, when a young entrepreneur walks into this kind of a business in the first place, they won't know where to start and how to proceed. If you rewind your clock, say 8 months prior, what kind of advice would you want to give yourself before entering into the voice AI business?
Okay, so that's like a deeper question.
Okay, tell me what are the three things
Okay.
that you would want someone like you, like an advice if you want to
Mhm.
give young entrepreneurs some advice. What are the top three things they need to focus on?
First of all, you have to understand it's a new tech, so that option rate is going to be low. And you don't have to get disappointed if somebody says no. So because you're going to face a lot of
Okay,
rejections. Even we face it when we do outreach, when we get on calls. Not everybody is going to be ready, right? It's a new tech. You have to understand it's going to face a lot of rejections. Second thing, you have to keep learning. This tech is evolving very fast. And if you're not updated with, what's the new tech, what's the new tech stack, how the whole voice AI space is moving really fast, you have to be updated. Second thing. Third thing is you have to get access to people who are into this voice agent space who are doing good. So for me, if I give an example myself, I get a lot of clients from inbound referrals because I partner up with voice AI agencies, a voice AI consultant, or other consultants in the space. And since they know that we are very good at fulfillment, they send us clients, right? So building your network with of like-minded people, like-minded business owners, consultant, agency owners, that's going to go a very long way. As you know, the line goes, your network is your net worth. You have to keep building that. And I focus so much that that's part of my KPI. Every single day, end of the day, I will actually track how many new people I have met today, how many new interactions I have had done today. That's part of my KPI.
okay, that's good advice. So you said they need to be acceptance of rejection, right? That's they need to have an open mindset
Yeah,
about it. And second thing you said networking is key. So they need to talk to new people,
100%.
make sure they are collaborating with a lot of folks. What would be your third advice?
Third advice, as I said, would be learning, as I even
Okay.
mentioned just now, that you should be aware of what's going on. It's a new tech, it's evolving very fast. So it's not something that you learn today and then you don't revisit your knowledge, for the next 3 months. You have to keep learning on a daily basis. You have to be updated what's going on in the industry.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's very good advice. Thank you. I'm gonna do some rewind. Okay. How did you end up choosing
Mhm.
voice agents as your solution? Why voice agents? Why voice tech? Why? Because AI is so vast. You could have built any other AI
Correct.
automation, but why voice AI?
Yeah, that's an interesting question that why voice AI, and that goes back to my previous business that I
Mm-hmm.
was running. And as you know, like business, like entrepreneurship is a long journey and it's like connecting the dots. So everything you do today is gonna play a bigger role in your future. All the learnings, all the experiences, the network, the connections, it leads to the next big thing. And for me, since I was running a lead generation business, like a funnel and marketing business, I was working with local businesses, service-based business. So I was so familiar with their problem. I know it, right? This is the problem they're facing. What is the next big challenge they're facing? And where would be their biggest ROI? For a business owner, the number one thing that they want to address is the leads and sales. That is the biggest concern. Everything comes
Yep.
after that. Everything comes after that. If they don't have leads, if they don't have sales, they don't have a
Yep.
business. So for any business owner, that's going to be the number one priority. And since, like, for example, if I am an AI agency owner, if I think it from my perspective, I should be solving the bleeding neck problem for any business. So for them, the bleeding neck problem is the leads, follow-up system, and sales, right? And that is where they can see the
Uh-huh.
ROI. There are a lot of other AI solutions like which you can do, which look fancy, looks very cool, and it would impress somebody. But if you talk about charging money, like okay, I'm going to charge you $3,000 for building this up, business owners will say no because that is not their top priority. But if I'm solving their bleeding neck problem, I can charge them whatever I want
Yeah. Yeah.
because
True.
I'm giving them a direct ROI, right?
That's good, man. You've identified their problem statement very nicely. Yeah, of course, your experience as a marketing agency also helped, but knowing the right problem to
Yes,
solve
right.
is also a big skill, I feel. Yeah. What else do you want to talk about, Mirza? Do you have any stories to tell or any case studies you want to share or any other topics that you want me to cover?
It's more like I just wanted to kind of, from your podcast, give out this message for business owners who are watching this thing. Uh, Voice AI or AI in general, it's coming for the businesses, right? The businesses that are going to adopt will thrive. The businesses that do not adopt, think of it like, like a bubble would find it really difficult to
Ah,
survive in the economy.
okay.
Just to give you an example, when we had this advertising like Meta ads, the Google ads, when it were new, a lot of business owners they were hesitant to use it for their
Okay.
business. They had a lot of objections, they had a lot of uncertainty, and they were not ready to spend. But initially, the advertising cost was so low that the business owner who adopted early, they made like huge amount of money because the advertising cost was so
Okay.
low. You can spend like $1 and get like $10 back,
Ah,
which is not possible now. Now everybody knows that money comes from advertising. You have to run ads. Every business owner
yes.
knows that. And then every business owner is spending money on ads, so there's huge competition. Now you cannot like spend $1 and get $10 back. You can get like $1, maybe get like $2 or $3 back because of the huge competition. Same case with voice AI. This is the time voice AI plus other AI solutions as well for automating your business, for your workflow optimization, for your CRMs, for your calls, for your leads. You have to start implementing voice AI. The first step would be analyzing your business internally, doing like a kind of review of your
Okay.
business. Where are you spending most of your time? Okay, first step is like understanding where are you spending most of your time? What are the repetitive works that you can automate? How many leads are you getting per month? How many leads you're missing out, right? Do you have a follow-up system in place? How many follow-ups happen to a single lead? So once you start asking these questions, you'll be able to uncover the hidden ROI, right, in your business. Once you do it yourself, you don't even have to go to an agency. You don't even have to hire a consultant. These are like very basic questions that you can ask yourself, see your numbers, and then see what is the value of this. Like, what is the value of missing out on 30 leads every single month?
Yeah.
Right. So once you do
Yeah.
those analysis, you'd get to know.
Yeah, I think that's a good mathematics to for someone to overcome their fear for AI implementations, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. If they're spending, for example, if they're spending, 3 hours a day updating the CRM based on all the
Yeah.
calls, what is the value of it? Like, annually, how much real, high value tasks you could do if you can automate that note taking and then uploading it in the CRM, because all these are like manual process which can be automated with AI. That's going to save you time because you can invest into higher return activities for your business.
Okay. That's good to know, man. I think we're pretty much done. Do you want to tell people how to book a demo or how to have any consulting conversations with you or how to go about if somebody wants to implement, how would they write, how should they reach out?
Yeah, that's interesting. So if your viewers who are watching this, business owners, they want to, let's say, demo this thing, they can maybe we can put a link of your calendar. They can book a call, and we'll be happy to set up them a customized demo based on their niche, based on their own
Okay.
business, right? We can set up a customized demo
Okay.
for them.
So you're happy to do customized demo for our viewers, and we will put the information down below in the
Yes.
description, and we can ask business owners to reach out for any consultations.
Yes, 100%. And we can even offer a free business analysis call where we can get on a call, we'll understand their bottlenecks, what they're doing currently in the business, what part can be automated, and give them a free review of the complete their business, where they can implement AI, what is the ROI they can expect, and
Okay.
everything.
So what is your typical engagement model? So before onboarding them, what discovery conversations do you have, or how do you engage a business?
So usually we have like one or two calls with the
Okay.
business. First call will be a discovery call where we try to understand their current business, their current problems they're facing, their current workflows and bottlenecks. And then we also understand about their tech stack. What kind of tech stack are they using? what is a CRM, and where could we find the highest
Okay.
ROI. So we try to understand
Hmm.
that thing. Where's the highest ROI that we can get using? Second call is usually like a strategy call. So based on the information, the initial information, we do a bit of research and find out the highest ROI
Okay.
activity, and then we prepare a game plan for the business. And on the second strategy call, we show them like this is the game plan, this is what we're going to do for
Mm-hmm.
your business. And then from there, if everything sounds good, we start on the execution side of thing. After we receive like the agreement, we sort of do an agreement, and then we start with the execution.
Thank you. And what sort of timeline are we looking at? So from start to finish, from the first discovery call to strategy call and implementation? How long do you think a business owner needs to wait for a voice agent to be stood up with customizations for them? Yeah.
So the discovery call phase and the strategy call phase usually like say 3 days
Okay.
process. First day will be discovery, second day we'll do the research, third day we get back
Okay.
to them. Usually with other agencies they take more time, let's say a week or so for doing the research. For us it's less since we work in one kind of solution. So we know everything we
Okay.
have to do, right? We know the right questions, so we don't have to spend a bunch of time doing the research. That's why we just do it like within a day. And then once the client finalizes
Yep.
working with us, setting up the whole system and deploying is a phase of 3 to 4 weeks.
Great. Okay. So you're saying a business owner can get this thing up and running somewhere between roughly 4 to 5 weeks or 3 to 4 weeks, depending on the level of customization they need.
Depending on the level of complexity and customization, within 3 to 4 weeks, they'll have like a very good
Working
AI
solution.
agent set up for their business
Okay.
up and running.
And if businesses have their own knowledge base, so for businesses who don't understand knowledge base, I think it's a set of information that are very specific to their business that they can upload for the voice agent to use, right? Can you give me a few examples of what a knowledge base would look like for some of your businesses so that my viewers can understand what a knowledge base is?
Yeah, for example, if you're running a MedSpa and you want the agent to be aware of the services that you're selling, the features, the benefit of the services, and the pricing of the services, information about your staff, information about your timings, hours. So these are the knowledge, it could be as simple as this one, or it could be more complex as well. But you can see like any critical information that you want the AI to be fed upon and access it, that's the knowledge
Thank
base.
you. Thank you. I think we've come to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for being our guest today, Mirza. It was pleasure talking to you, getting to know more information and how young generation is getting into AI and entrepreneurship. I think AI is also giving us the ability for a one-man entrepreneur, a small company to do magic in business models, and that's what we are witnessing
Right.
with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Madhu, for having me on this podcast and helping me spread awareness about AI, voice AI, and how businesses can adopt to it. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you.